Oh, now everyone's going. I take it you can all hear me. Brilliant. Thanks, Yvonne. Morning, Carol. I'm just going to give it another minute or so, just in case anyone else wants to join, and we'll get going dead on at 9:30. Can everyone see the screen fine? Everything's all set. No one's got any technical issues. Lovely. Thanks, Craig. Perfect. Brilliant. That's great. Perfect. Well, it's 9:30 on the dot, so I think I'll get started because I don't want to keep you all too long. I know you probably have very busy days and lots of bookings to make, hopefully. So if you have any questions, I will ask at the end if you've got any questions, and you can always email me as well following that. So Amadeus River Cruises, you can see here, I'm going to give you a quick overview of everything about Amadeus River Cruises and river cruising as well. So let me just skip to the next page. So some of you on here may be, river cruise advocates. Some of you may be new to river cruising. So I just want to give you all a bit of an overview of why I choose river cruising in general. In ways, it's very similar to ocean cruising, but in ways, it's very, very different as well. So with river cruising, you are visiting a different port of call each and every day. And that's one of the beauties of river cruising, is that it's not a city break. You're not going to the same destination for, 5, 6, 7 nights. You're going somewhere different each and every day. And on some of our itineraries, we even take you to more than one place each day. The time you get ashore is more expensive because we dock you in the heart of the city. 99% of our docking places, you can pretty much step off the vessel and you're there in the heart of the city where it's all happening. You'll unpack just once. So on all of our itineraries, you will have your floating hotel, as they call our vessel. Your customers will unpack their suitcases just once, and there they have it, and they get to visit numerous different places, different towns, different cities, going through various different countries, and they only have to unpack their case just once, which for someone that lives out of a suitcase quite a lot, as you can imagine being on the road, it is very, very good to be able to have to do that. One pack, and then head back to the airport. Luxury vessels. I'm not sure if any of you have actually seen our vessels in the flesh. We were at the Clear River Expo in Amsterdam. We actually had the Amadeus Silver 3 there just this November gone. And they are beautiful luxury vessels. And we are a 4-star and a 4-star plus product. But I have to say they are very, very nice vessels fitting the 4-star category. All of the hotel facilities you would expect on board that you would also expect in a city 4-star hotel, and which I will touch on in more detail in a few slides. It's an intimate atmosphere on board. A lot of our vessels take between 140 to 100, maximum 180 passengers, so very, very small numbers compared to ocean cruising, compared to your thousands and your pretty much floating cities that you get on the waters. So it's very intimate on board. Passengers get to know one another, and more importantly, the crew get to know the passengers. It's great value for money. I've got some from prices in a few slides, so I'll show you those. But when you break it down to passengers day by day, what they get for a flight inclusive or a rail inclusive package, everything you get included in your cruise fare, it is phenomenal value for money. You get services of the fantastic crew on board 24 hours a day. Pretty much 7 days a week, depending on how long their sailing is. And they're there to help. Anything you need is never, ever too much trouble. And finally, most importantly for some customers, smooth sailing. No seasickness, I can promise you. And you can pretty much see the riverbank either side throughout the duration of the cruise. So that's really important for those people, those passengers that may like to pick up river cruising, but they're a bit worried about seasickness or being on the water or not seeing land. So that's why I choose river cruising in particular. Why choose Amadeus River Cruises? So Amadeus River Cruises is a European cruise line. They have over 30 years of experience in the European river cruise industry. Now, it is a traditionally family-run, owned and operated river cruise line, and that is the most important message to get across to you guys. So as you can see here, this is the Lufner family, and you can see Wolfgang Martina in the middle. On the right of Wolfgang, you'll see Leah, and on the left, you'll see in the red dress is Anna, and then on the far left is Karina. They are all heavily involved in the operation of Amadeus River Cruises, and we have daily communication with them. And the most important part of this is that any sailing on board an Amadeus River Cruise is an extension of that family. So every sailing you go on will feel like you're a part of their extended family. And I think that is a really key message to have behind the product, to tell your customers and passengers, because nothing is ever too much trouble. And, even going from the crew on board, by the second night, they'll know if you like your G&T after dinner, they'll know if you want red wine or white wine with dinner, and you really do feel like you're an extended family, dinner with the Lufner family. Amadeus River Cruises have an award-winning fleet of state-of-the-art vessels, which I will show you in a bit more detail in a couple of slides. And I touched on the crew. As I said, nothing is ever too much trouble for them, and they really do go out of their way to get everything right for customers. And having speaking to agents on the road for the last couple of weeks, I've been getting feedback about being on board. The crew are absolutely phenomenal. They're amazing, and it's really great to hear that. And so you have no qualms in referring your customers to Amadeus River Cruises. So the Amadeus Fleet, at the moment we have 12 ships, 11 in operation and 1 currently in a shipyard being built. We have the Amadeus Star, which is our new ship for next year, which I will touch on in a bit more detail. And then we've got all of the ships that you can see there, and they range from 140 guests on the Amadeus Provence up to a maximum of 180 guests on the Amadeus Silver. Now, like I said, they're luxury vessels, and they sit in the 4-star and the 4-star plus categories. So everything you see from Amadeus Classic up to Amadeus Brilliant, which is the bottom half of that list, they are our 4-star products. And everything you see from Amadeus Silver up to the Star are 4-star plus. So there's a slight difference in the category. Within the Silver Fleet, as we call the newer ships, so the Amadeus Silver and above, there's certain elements and implementations that you may not see to the naked eye that are, quite important to Amadeus River Cruises. One example is the air lubrication system on board. So this is implemented within the Amadeus Silver and all of the ships that have been built since the Amadeus Silver, so the Silver 2, the Silver 3, the Provence, the Queen, and next year the Amadeus Star. Now this means that the air lubrication system is to reduce noise pollution on the ship by at least 50%. So, for example, if you've got customers staying in cabins that are closer to the engines, you can rest assured that the noise is reduced by at least 50% because of this air lubrication system. So there's small elements that you may not see, and you probably may not even be aware of, but there are things that we do within Amadeus River Cruises to enhance the guest experience, and it's just one of them. So this is what the majority of our ships look like, the deck plans that you can see here. We've got 4 deck levels. We've got the Hayden deck there at the bottom, and this is where we hold our category C4 and C1 cabins, the orange cabins that you can see there. And these are our river view cabins, so they have a rectangle window that gives a view of the river and a view of the river banks. Now, obviously, the windows cannot be opened because that would be a huge safety hazard. You will be surprised how many people ask us, can I open this window? But no, they cannot, because the ship probably wouldn't stay on the water for very long. So I've stayed in these cabins myself. And, there's great storage capacity. There is plenty of room, and they are around about 172 square feet, so nice and spacious for a leading cabin. This is what all of our leading prices are based on, and this is are cabins where our single supplements start at just 15%. So all of those cabins you see there on the bottom deck, the orange cabins, are just a 15% supplement for solo passengers, which is a huge unique selling point of Amadeus River Cruises, and I will touch on that in a bit more detail. You can see there as well, it's quite small deck plan, so apologies for the small text, but you'll see there is a massage room and also a small fitness room equipped with, you've got some cardiovascular machines, so you've got a treadmill, a bike, there's sometimes a rowing machine, and a small selection of dumbbell weights as well. So people can have a little exercise whilst they're on board, because heaven knows I don't eat way too much and drink way too much on a river cruise, and I'm sure that goes for everyone else too. There's also an elevator. You might not be able to see it on there, but there's an elevator that takes you and your customers between the 3 deck levels there. So the Hayden, the Strauss, and the Mozart deck. Now, it doesn't take you to the sun deck. Obviously, the sun deck is the fire safety and evacuation point on the ship, so we can't have a lift taking passengers up to that deck level. But the steps between the Mozart deck and the sun deck, and yes, I did count them because you'll be surprised at how many people we get questions for. But there is only 12 steps between the Mozart and the sun deck. So as long as your passengers are able to do those 12 steps, it might range between about 12 and 14 depending on the ship. But it's, as long as they can do a set of steps within a regular house, they'll be able to do those steps between the deck levels, and they've got the elevator to take them between the Mozart, Strauss, and Hayden deck. So going up to the Strauss deck, these are our cabins, are our French balcony cabins. So we've got 4 B4 categories at the back of the ship there. And then the rest of the cabins on that level are B1 cabins. So these are French balcony. They have a drop-down panoramic window, which gives passengers the opportunity to have a balcony effect. And there's a seating area by the window as well, but without taking any interior cabin space to give them an exterior balcony. Now these cabins are around about 188 square feet. So again, they're a bit more spacious than the Riverview cabins there, so you get about 10 square feet extra, probably maybe just over that. And so they have that balcony effect. And then on that level as well, we have the reception. And we have a small gift shop, and again, apologies, the text is quite small, so you probably can't see that. And then we also have our restaurant area too. So the restaurant can actually seat 10% more capacity than a full ship. So there's always going to be tables for 2, if you've got passengers with a special occasion, if they've got an anniversary, a birthday, they're celebrating a retirement, anything like that, then please do let us know upon inquiry or upon confirmation of booking. And we can ensure, obviously, we do something a bit special for them, but also you rest assured there will be, a table for 2. We then take you up to the Mozart deck, which you can see there is our top deck for cabin spaces. So on the left-hand side, you'll see they are A1 cabins. They are, again, French balconies, exactly the same as the cabins that we just spoke about on the Strauss deck, but they have obviously on the higher deck, so there's a slight price increase for those. Exactly the same square feet and exactly the same drop-down panoramic window to give that French balcony effect. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see the suites. So you can see, again, just from the naked eye, you can see they're a lot more spacious. They are about 284 square feet, give or take a few, depending on the ship. And these have an extra seating area within the cabin, and they also have an exterior balcony. And on the next slide, I will show you a picture of the suite on board one of our Silver Fleet of ships. Again, it's quite small, but you might be able to see just next to Suite 301, there is a Cafe Vienna area. Now, this is a small seating area. All of the windows around it are panoramic floor-to-ceiling views to give a nice, light, spacious and airy feel. And it's also an area where we can do, upon request, a VIP check-in service. So if you've got a group or if you've got a larger booking, you might have about 8 to 10 passengers on the same booking and you want to give them a little bit extra sort of VIP feel, it is something that the crew on board can do on a request basis. So please do let us know. And then we have the panorama bar. So, of course, this is where us as agents, you'll probably find all of us on board the ship. So the panorama bar there, again, this is floor to ceiling, panoramic windows, very light, very spacious, and great views while you're sailing. Through the panorama bar, you can gain entry to the river terrace, which is the brown strip you see there at the front of the ship. And this is a glass shielded area which you can sit outside. It's outdoors, but it's slightly shielded so that if there's a bit windy or something, then they're covered from that. And it's where you can just, enjoy the views while sailing, have a cup of coffee, enjoy afternoon tea out there, etc. It's a really, really lovely place to sit while sailing. Then after the ship, so the very, very back of the ship, you'll see the Amadeus Club. Now this is where our 24-hour tea and coffee station is located, and I will touch on it, and there's something very special in here on our Amadeus Queen that was just christened, which I will show you in just a second. And then you have the sun deck. So as I mentioned, some small set of stairs taking passengers up to the sun deck. We try and keep this very minimalistic, so it's very spacious on the sun deck. There's lots of seating options for people, and then so in particular on this ship, we have a giant chessboard and a shuffleboard and a bar. So of course we need a bar up there, but everything else is kept quite minimalistic, so it's great to be able to have lots of space up there. And we also keep bicycles on the sun deck as well. So on board all of our ships we'll have about 5 to 6 bicycles. They come with a lock and a helmet, and passengers can take these off once we dock and explore towns and cities at their rest. So this is what these images are taken from the Amadeus Silver II. As you can see, they're quite modern and contemporary in design, interior, and the big image that you can see on the screen here is one of our suites. And you can see you've got the extra seating area by the window, some nice corner sofa that you can see. And then you've got a desk area, and then you've got the exterior balcony. You can see there's a nice pink stool to sit out on there. So that's one of our suites, and then the middle image you can see at the bottom there is one of our French balcony cabins as well. So you can't see the window, but it gives you an idea of the layout, etc. So all of our staterooms come with flat screen TV infotainment systems. So you can watch the news, you can watch films and music, etc. All of our staterooms have an in-room safe. Fantastic storage capacity, as I mentioned. Even in the lower grade cabins we lead in, there's still 4 giant drawers underneath the TV unit for storage, plus a cupboard as well. So that's brilliant. And all of the French balcony and suites have walk-in wardrobes. Ladies, I know you probably all get excited about that as much as me. So great storage capacity. They come with a dressing gown and a set of slippers as well for customers to use. Hairdryer and direct dial telephones. You can dial up to reception, to another cabin if you're staying with friends. High quality spa products in the bathrooms, and complimentary bottled water in the cabins daily. Mini bars in the suites. And just to give you an idea of the stateroom sizes there that I touched upon, so they range from 162 to 183 square feet for our Riverview and French balcony cabins, and the suites range from 258 to 280 square feet, depending on the ship that you're sailing on. There we go. So that was what the actual hardware of the ship looks like, but I'm just going to touch on for you what is included within the cruise fare for your customers. So it's a full board basis. You get gourmet dining with all meals, so breakfast. I hope no one's hungry right now, so I'm about to talk about food quite intensely. Breakfast, a multi-course lunch, an a la carte dinner, plus afternoon tea and a midnight snack. So the breakfast will consist of pretty much every option you can think of. You've got an omelette station, smoked salmon, cream cheese bagels. You've got continental breakfast. You've got a fresh cooked English breakfast. Also fruit juices, tea and coffee. And if you like, 2 kinds of toast in the morning, a sparkling wine to go with your bread and butter if you wish to do so. And that's just lunch. Breakfast, sorry. Then moving on to lunch is a multi-course, the option of a light lunch in the lounge upstairs, and also a multi-course table service, a lunch within the restaurant as well. So there's 2 options for lunch there. And dinner is also served in the restaurant. Afternoon tea will be served in the Panorama Bar, and midnight snack again in the Panorama Bar. So there's loads of food options whilst you're on board. And obviously, to complement the food, we have free flowing quality red and white wines with lunch and dinner, draft beer and soft drinks as well. So lots of drink options there for your customers. 24-hour tea and coffee station, which is located in the Amadeus Club. We also have a cocktail reception and welcome dinner on the first night, and then the Captain's Gala dinner on the last and the final night too. We have onboard entertainment, so as you can see in one of the pictures there, we have an Amadeus duo on board, so we'll have a singer and a pianist. We'll give you some light entertainment. Sometimes we might bring on bands or local acts or something, but it's very, very low-key. So it's there if customers wish to use it as their focal point in the evening, if they wish to take advantage, have a little dance. A lot of people do get up and have a dance, etc. Or if they just want to simply enjoy a glass of wine after dinner and have a conversation, that, you know, it's overbearing that they can't do that. So it's nice and low-key. We have the use of bicycles, as I've mentioned, as well, and we have the complimentary state-of-the-art audio headsets for all of the optional excursions, which I will touch on shortly. We've got English-speaking cruise director on board, so you know, any questions they have, rest assured it's all English-speaking. There is a non-smoking environment on board, so smoking is only permitted on the sun deck. Although having said that, being on board myself, I have seen customers and passengers smoking on the river terrace as well, so I do believe it is permitted on there as well, but it's probably best to check whilst on board. And all UK passengers can take advantage of complimentary upgraded Wi-Fi, so it is included for UK passengers on board, so that is definitely an inclusion for your customers. So, talking about our fleet, this is the brand new Amadeus Queen. If any of you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see we've been shouting, singing and dancing about it recently. So I personally myself was out in Amsterdam, oh gosh, I think it was about 2 weeks ago now, and saw the Amadeus Queen be christened by one of the family members. So this is another element to Amadeus River Cruises that's really, really heartwarming, is that they don't have celebrity endorsements. They don't have anyone other than a family member christen the ships. So each and every vessel within their fleet is christened by a family member. Amadeus Queen in particular was christened by Karina, and she gave a speech and she spoke about how she christened her first ship at 9 years old, and you know, she's welcoming the Queen into the fleet, which is lovely. So the interior of the ship is so well done. There's a lot of creams and beiges, which, you know, sometimes it can be a bit drowning out, but this is absolutely lovely. It's so rich. There's so many different textures on board, and it is just really, really elegant, but elegantly understated. It's lovely. I mean, if any of you do get the chance to go on board and see her, please do. One of the differences with the Amadeus Queen to the rest of the Silver Fleet is that she has a swimming pool, as you can see in the bottom right-hand image there. This is located in the Amadeus Club at the back of the ship. So she has a swimming pool there, and the roof of this, which you can't see in the image, and apologies, it's some of my imagery, I'm not the best photographer. The roof is actually retractable, so when it's, you know, really nice outside, they can retract the roof, and the sun and the air can come in and make it feel really, really lovely. Now, this Amadeus Club area is different to the previous. Now, all of our other fleet in the Amadeus Club, you walk in, it's carpeted, it's quite a warm feeling. With this one, it's got like a spa feel to it, so you walk in and instantaneously you just kind of breathe a sigh of relief, and you smell the swimming pool, and you've got towels. There's a shower in there as well, and for people to shower before and after using the pools. It's just a really relaxing area on the ship. And of course, most importantly, it has a bar, which we all love. So a bar and a tea and coffee station as well, located within the Amadeus Queen. Amadeus Queen's Amadeus Club. So that is our new ship for this year. So she was christened a couple of weeks ago, and she set off on her first voyage doing the Tulip Serenade, and she'll be sailing the Rhine and the Danube as well. And then our new ship for next year. So each and every year, Amadeus River Cruises are building a new ship, and there is no we have no information that will stop, so it's brilliant. River cruising is becoming ever popular, and there is more and more demand for ships on the waters. Now, this is the artistic impressions of the ship, because obviously she is not built yet. She's still in the shipyard. But as you can see, she's going to follow the design of most of our Silver Fleet, and so a few innovation changes there, as you can see from the sort of circle panoramic windows on the side of the ship. Most importantly, one of the elements that is going to be on board is a wine bar. So that will be really great, and definitely something that we will all be taking advantage of if we get the chance to visit the Amadeus Star. So she will be christened again sort of like this time next year and hit the waters shortly after that. So that is some of our big news new for 2019. Just quickly going to touch on the itineraries that we do. So we sail many of the main European waterways. So we've got the Seine in northern France, and we do the Rhone and the Saône in southern France as well. And that Rhone itinerary is on board our new ship for last year, which is the Amadeus Provence, and she has an infinity pool on the back of the ship. So a really lovely environment to be able to sail and then take advantage of the lovely weather down there. We have the Dutch and the Belgian waterways, which is currently tulip season as we speak. So we have a couple of ships based out there at the moment doing our 7-night tulip serenade itineraries. And we have the Rhine, Main and the Moselle rivers, which we cover on our classical Rhine itineraries there. And then we have the Danube. And obviously the Danube is a very long river. We've got the upper Danube and the lower Danube, and we do sail pretty much all of the Danube, all the way down to the Danube Delta. Excuse me. So there's not a lot of river cruise lines that will go that far, but we do take your passengers to kilometre zero on the Danube Delta. So it's a hugely unique selling point for us. If anyone's been down to the Danube Delta, you'll know firsthand just a wealth of wildlife they have down there. It's UNESCO World Heritage Site, absolutely beautiful. There's over 300 bird species down there, and loads of other wildlife as well. So it is a really, really phenomenal place to go. And considering that we take your customers all the way down to kilometre zero, is a huge unique selling point for us. And we have 2 itineraries that do that section of the Danube. So, I'm touching on that already. So, point 1 is I just want to give you an overview of a few of our unique selling points of Amadeus River Cruises. I'm sure you're all aware there's so many river cruise lines out there. There's so many to choose from. So why choose Amadeus River Cruises in particular? So as I just mentioned, we have unique itineraries such as the Danube Delta, and we take your customers to kilometre zero towards the Black Sea. There's also an optional boat safari that they can opt in for. That will give them a transition to a very, very smaller ship. There's a canoe-like ship that takes them about 8 to 10 people, and it will give you a complete Delta safari of the Danube Delta, great photo opportunities, etc. So that is something I would hugely recommend. We are a fantastic product for solo travellers, or just single occupancy cabins. So our supplements start from just 15%. We had a couple of dates this year as well where we had 0 single supplement. They have now passed, so there were a couple of dates in April that have now actually sailed. But just to give you an indication that we do offer great rates for solos, and with just a 15% uplift on those lower cabins, it is a really great product. There's fantastic earning opportunities for you. So on our cruise only prices, you'll earn 15% commission, and then on the flights, transfers, pre or post cruise stay and optional excursions, you will also earn 5% commission. So it's fantastic earning opportunities for you, and that is just the start, and I'll touch on other opportunities for you in just a second. We have shorter duration of cruises. So last year we did have a Paris mini cruise as well, which was 3 nights, and this year we've got a couple of our Christmas itineraries that are shorter than the 7-night duration. So it's a great one if you've got customers thinking to do Christmas markets and they want to go for sort of 3 or 4 nights. Why not switch them to a river cruise? They're getting all of their food, majority of their drinks on board. They get to visit more than one place, and they've got their accommodation, and really it works out, great value for money. Now, with Amadeus River Cruises, we do offer optional excursions, which is, again, a unique selling point for us. So all of the prices that you see do not include excursions. These can be added on either ad hoc. Customers can say, you know, I want to do the Budapest City Tour, and then we'll say, okay, this is the cost. Or there's excursion packages, which you'll see in the brochure. If any of you have got one of our brochures, we give you a complete overview of all the optional excursions for that cruise, the individual prices of them, and then the package prices of them as well. If your customers book with you up to 2 weeks before they leave, they can save 15% on the excursion package, and of course you still earn your commission on that as well. So it's really, really great for customers to be able to pick and choose, tailor-make their holiday, and know that, you know, everyone's going to have their own unique experience of their river cruise because they've handpicked the things that interest them and what they want to do. We do also have some collateral which gives you, and I can send this to you, any of you that request it over email. It gives you a complete overview of each and every individual excursion. So in the brochure you'll just see the name of the excursion, but this leaflet that I can send you, it gives you, you know, probably about 5 or 6 lines of really in-depth information of what they're going to do, what they're going to see, how long the duration of the excursion is, the walking rate of it. So is it going to be a lot of walking or a small amount of walking, which is quite important for customers to know. So it really, really does give them the opportunity to completely handpick and, you know, tailor-make their own experience. And then finally, packaging options. So we're very flexible with what we can offer you. We can do London-based flight packages, we can do rail, we can do regional flights, we can do door-to-door pickup on a request basis, and we can do pre- and post-cruise stays as well. So everything imaginable that your customers might ask for, they might want a door-to-door pickup service, they might want to fly from Leeds Bradford Airport, and they might want to do 2 nights pre-cruise stay in Lyon and then join the ship, or 2 nights post-cruise stay. All of that we can do for you. We're very, very flexible. Please let us know at time of inquiry, and we'll, you know, one of our fantastic reservations team will put it all together for you, and we will do all the work. So you can then transfer that to your customers, and then hopefully they will, you know, find it all perfect and go ahead. So also something we like to tell you about is our 2019 sailings are on sale, and they're bookable right now. So if you do have anyone interested in 2019, and then please do pick up the phone as soon as I put one down. All of the dates on our website now, and you can save 15% early booking discount on all of our 2019 sailings off of the cruise element. Just handpicked a couple of our top itineraries that you'll see here, starting from just 1,089 per person. That's based on our Paris sailing. These are flight-inclusive prices based on London flights. So they are really, really great value for money. And even if you were to put a regional on there, regional flight or rail, etc., there'll still be phenomenal value for money. Please let me know if you would like a 2019 brochure. You can email sales@frederivercruises.co.uk, or simply pick up the phone to one of our reservations team, and they'll ensure that we get one sent out to you for 2019. So like I said, if you do have anyone interested in 19, then we're on sale, so please do not hesitate to contact us. We have a fantastic trade support team for you. So I'm your sales executive, and then we have Natalie, who's our head of sales, and we've got Brooke, who's our sales and reservations manager, and then we've got a whole team of reservations, a really knowledgeable reservations team as well. So the reservations phone number is there, as you can see, 0800 035 6411, or you can email sales@fredrivercruises.co.uk. We are quite old school. We don't have an online system where you can log in and, you know, an online booking form. It is pretty much pick up the phone, drop us an email, and we'll get back to you. We also have an agency sales dedicated email, so any agency sales questions that you have, if you want to promote a certain package, if you want some regional flights to promote, a window poster, if you're doing an event, anything like that, please let us know. You can email agency sales@fredrivercruises.co.uk. And as I said, we're very supportive. Anything we can do to help you increase your river cruise business or anything like that, we're here to assist you with that. We're open Monday to Friday and Saturdays as well. And just a small note, we are on Travel Tech. So if any of you guys do use Travel Tech platform, please search for Amadeus River Cruises and you can find us on there. So it's quite important for us to get that message across to you. Now, earlier I mentioned about earning opportunities and obviously explained the commission levels that you earn on the products. But we also do like to reward you for each and every booking that you make. So this is our River Rewards for Amadeus River Cruises. You can earn a £10 up to shop voucher for each and every booking you make with us. So as well as the fantastic earning opportunities that you get with the commission levels, you will also earn something a little extra as well for yourself in the form of a love to shop voucher. So just literally drop us an email, agency.sales@fredrivercruises.co.uk with the booking reference and the passenger name, and we will get the rewards sent out to you. So that's just a little added extra we like to give you guys. Finally, if any of you are on social media, please do give us a like on Facebook or Instagram. So you can find us on Facebook, we're Amadeus River Cruises Trade, and on Instagram as well. So we keep you updated with all the latest news, offers. We have imagery on there, which you are able to then share on your Facebook pages as well. So it kind of makes your content a little bit easier. You can just give us a share on there. And it's basically we run competitions and you can win various different prizes. Last year we gave away a couple of fam trips on there as well. So it is a really great platform for us to be able to reach you all and inform you of everything that's going on with Amadeus River Cruises. So please do give us a like. Now that's everything I have to share with you guys today. If you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat box, or you can also email me. I'm Emma@fredrivercruises.co.uk. If there's anything you need at all or anything you'd like to follow up on following this webinar, then please do let me know. Thank you all so much for your time. I know you're all very, very busy, and hopefully that's given you a brilliant insight into Amadeus River Cruises in general and helps you learn a bit more about the product. So thank you very much, and take care, and I'll speak to some of you soon.